Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Jamie, and this will be a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. If you are new to tarot, there are some rules. Just because you're a Pisces and the reading is for Pisces doesn't always mean it's going to resonate. So if you feel like the reader's wrong or like it just isn't your story, just discard the reading. Remember that there is no gender. If I pull kings, queens, emperors, or empresses, I'm not talking about a man or a woman. Those cards describe really specific personalities. All of my information's in the description of the video. If you want to get notified whenever I post readings, you can subscribe to the channel. And I also offer a membership, so if that's something you're interested in, you can click the join button to check out the membership tab. See what's going on in there. Now, as you'll see, I already have 2 oracle cards pulled. My goodness. And we'll go over those in just a second. I just want to pull the actual tarot spread that we're going to use for this. So we're taking a little look at the month of April, as it is here. Feels like it happened fast. So these are out for astrology purposes. So astrologically, in April, on the 12th, we're going to have this full moon in Libra. Now, of course, it's a full moon, so we're talking about heightened emotions and some drama, right? But it kind of busts everything down so that we can stop avoiding conflicts and actually meet it head on, to thus create harmony in relationships. Essentially, it's damage control. So things are going to start to smooth out in relationships, especially if there's any turmoil. Right around the time of this moon, it's also a great time for abundance and fertility. But keep in mind, it's a great time for fertility. But a really harmonious time. So this will be the beginning of the good things that are about to happen in April. Now on the 19th, the sun's going to move into Taurus, and nothing is retrograde. So everything's going to get calm again. I feel like you'll have some of your patience back, and you'll probably be more productive. I feel like the Aries energy is very go, go, go. It's not always productive, though. It's just exhausting. So switching into Taurus will definitely shift down and feel a lot better, right? So on the 27th of the month, we have a new moon in Taurus, hence this card. Prosperity lies ahead, and you're going to be literally future planning, and this is going to be in the earthly material way, you know. And then towards the end of the month, on the 30th, Venus will move into Aries, and again, fertility. This is spring energy, Twitter-pated energy. If you're single, this is spring fling time. It's warm again. People are outside. Everybody's meeting new people. Things are just starting to flow like life again. Okay, so if you have a lot of Aquarius in your chart, check out that reading because it did start off with the same overall energy. And there could be, a combination there that you need to know about. Anyway, we're going to look at this from all aspects. We're going to start with romantic relationships. When I said turmoil in relationships, you were already like, I think that the overall energy in the relationship is the Five of Wands. There's a lot of I want to say, just drama, just straight drama. It may not even be making sense. It may be very Aries energy where it's just a lot of burnout or exhaustion and just kind of aggressive conflict. So again, as the month begins, you're going to start to see that start to temper out, get a little more harmonious. I think that the two of you may be at each other's throats at the beginning of April, but moving into that second week, things are going to be okay again. I feel like there's finally a conversation that's like been needed to have. Like, I think that you guys don't really, you like to avoid like the hard parts in this relationship. And I feel like you've actually been like worried. Maybe about what it is this person really wants. You know, it's interesting because I think kind of the energy here is like there's a main person in your life for those of you that are in a relationship, and you don't know how to just tell a person what you want because you're afraid that they're going to reject it in some type of way. So instead, you do some weird shit to try to figure out, what a person really wants. It would be like, I've been dealing with somebody for months and I want them to be in a relationship with me. So I just say and do stupid little shit to see how they'll react, to see if it would be safe for me to ask instead of just asking, or something really strange, kind of like that. I think that you'll finally just have that conversation. Some of you that have been in a relationship long term, it just does this. Sometimes it gets a little dramatic, and it's because obviously conflict is boiling to the top. So you gotta spew your shit, get in a little argument or a fight, and work on things from there. Once everybody says what they need to say, I feel like there's a fear of this conversation, but actually the conversation is exactly what's needed to be had to move forward. Some of you have been in a really long-term relationship. You're tired of not being this person's husband or wife. It's just going to come out. You're just going to get angry and you're just going to say it, and things are just going to move from there. I think that there's like a bit of passive aggressiveness to the relationship, at least on one person's end. It's actually hurting and not helping though, but I feel like, again, things are going to temper out once everybody spews that venom, gets everything out of their system. Things will start to balance back out, and you'll start to be able to move back on to life, Once you get into that Taurus energy, again, very harmonious. Everything feels really stable and grounded again. When it comes to work, I think work is a shit show for you. That's going to change too. Again, I feel like when we're moving around this full moon, a lot of times people's energy is really like wild and aggressive. It's just, it's aggressive. And I kind of feel like there's a lot of that going on at work. You could work in a place where the people are like kind of like macho and competitive towards one another. And like there's a lot of like little internal conflicts. Some of this is going to change because like management or somebody, like they're making plans to change this. Like there's somebody that's about to handle this, whatever the drama is at work. Either somebody's getting let go, or somebody's getting spoken to about it, or people are being written up or something. Like you're going to see like some shit that you're getting tired of dealing with at work is definitely going to be handled this month. Like there will be resolution to some type of conflict there. And I think that's all you want, like you just like to go to work and do your job and not have to deal with any like outside shit inside, or, two coworkers having beef being your damn problem. Make sure you're careful though, because I think management is paying attention to like anyone involved and anyone working those shifts or whatever. Just pay attention to how you're kind of moving in the beginning of April. If it involving other people's drama, don't get involved in it. Don't have anything to say. If management asks you about it, bro, I just come here to do my job. I don't know what the hell those people are doing. Honestly, just stay right out of it. Because I think you already are like making good money. It's just that there's a lot of drama where you work. Like it could be pretty toxic and you're getting tired of the shit. And you could have been trying to make plans to like leave or something, but instead something's going to change. And it's like in a way that's like really going to benefit you with the Nine of Cups. But you gotta look out and sort of, look at how she's listening around and stuff, like pay attention to how you're behaving, because there's definitely somebody like observing everybody's behavior in the early month of April when it comes to work. If you are an employer and there is a bunch of drama, you do need to observe behavior, because it'll get out of control. Like once you allow some shit like that to really go down, like you just end up with a lot of pettiness all of the time. And it's not that, people can't deal with the pettiness, but 9 out of 10, all your excellent workers are going to leave while your petty ones stay. And it's just not going to work out in the long run. Now, when it comes to your more interpersonal relationships, family and friends, I think that you don't really have any drama with them, but these people have a lot of drama in their life. They come to you, I think, to emotionally regulate. And they really talk to you about whatever's going on in their life. The thing with these people is you could be wasting energy. I feel like, they're kind of selfish. They'll hit you up whenever they need something or when they're going through something. And they're talking to you, but they don't really listen to what you say. They kind of fuck off and go do their own thing. And I feel like they kind of drain you. Like they come at you with all the drama and all the nonsense. And then when they're doing okay, they just kind of dip off. Don't let those kind of people be in your life. This month you're going to see it. Somebody really specific is going to like drain your energy. They're like, they're going to go through something dramatic. And they're going to be hitting you up all of the time trying to talk because they can't sleep or they're going through this, The thing with this person is they don't, they have like really selfish intentions with this. Like, like they just want like someone to regulate their emotions and they're just going to go right back to doing whatever they said. This would be like if you have a close friend and your friend's an addict and you sit up all night to listen to them talk about the problems. That's okay. But to have an expectation that they won't go back to using drugs, not good. So you have to set boundaries where like you'll listen to this person, but like at reasonable times and hours, and not getting caught up in whether or not they choose to take advice from you. It doesn't have to be that kind of situation. It could be friends with relationships and things like that. Like, just because you give the advice doesn't mean someone's just going to take it, and you don't want to get caught up in that because I feel like it's going to piss you off. But it's just not like that. Like if you've ever been like deeply obsessed with somebody or addicted to something, it doesn't really matter what someone else says. It's about what your brain and your body are going through, So I think it's saying to, I guess, be open to people, but make sure to set boundaries on how open you are and how much of your time and energy they can really have. If I were to take advice from all of these cards, it would be to avoid the drama and just focus on what's going to bring you peace and prosperity, right? Which is going to be a main thing towards the end of the month anyway. Moving into May, I think you're just going to have money on your mind and, solid romantic efforts. But I think you need to manage, again, how much time and energy you give to people, even if it's just in conversation, where you could be doing something productive, where these people are kind of just wasting your time or energy. They're not going to take the advice. They're not going to do anything. They just, and they're not around in their good times. If they're like having a good time, they're nowhere to be seen. But as soon as there's some type of misery in their life, they hit you up all the time just to drain you completely. You got to let those types of people go. I think you're a sucker for those kinds of people, to be honest. I feel like the advice is to not get distracted at all. There's going to be a lot of drama. There's going to be a lot of kind of chaos going on around you. And just to focus on yourself and the goals that you're setting in this time period. That's it. Don't pay attention or get pulled into any drama or nonsense around you. It's going to bring you all the way down this month. So you can expect that any drama that is started will be resolved, you know, so you don't want to take it to a level where it's like too extreme or where you can't resolve it. You know, just understanding that some people may, like, in that energy just be aggressive, you know, but to take the conflict in a way where someone's attempting to express to you what is actually going on with them. I think that's kind of the advice for the month for you. Okay, I'll see you soon.